Devin awakens. He's in my bedroom with a microphone set up.
He awakens standing.
You can hear in the distance. Wait, no, it's like.
What?
Wait. Let me. This is the sound that he hears. Wait, that is most certainly not
What was
right.
that?
Come on.
Oh, I think I know what you're...
No, you don't.
I think I know. This is good podcasting.
When was that it?
Just every sound from the Switch?
Every sound except for the one I'm looking for.
Listen, we all know what it is. The little click.
Is that it?
That is it. But I feel like that doesn't sound right.
That's
exactly.
not it, though.
But it is like... It's like a...
I mean, yeah, it's a click sound.
I think it's much more like subdued than that when it actually does it.
There we go. That was it, right?
Yeah.
That's actually not what I was
But it's
imagining.
usually... we're cutting all of this, right?
That's a bonus
Tim.
episode.
Welcome to Gamography.
Is that really the intro?
No! I'm saying just start it now.
Okay.
That was a bonus episode, Tim.
Okay, so tune in this summer for a bonus episode of Gamography.
Like after this summer, because...
I guess, yeah, we're basically in the summer now.
Yeah. We're in the summer, Tim. The summer of GOG.
Devin, happy summer. It's GOG Girl Summer.
What?
There's a thing where it's like people say it's Hot Girl Summer or something? Something like that. And then so it's GOG. It's GOG Summer. No, I think it's just GOG Summer.
Yeah, it's just GOG summer.
The summer
School's
of GOG.
out for GOG, baby.
School's out for GOG. I love that Alice Googer song. I love that Dale Cooper song.
Oh, man. I wish Dale Cooper had an album. It'd be great.
Yeah, like 70s kind of glam rock.
Yeah. I bet Dale Cooper was like in a band when he was like younger, before he like went straight,
Yeah, when he was gay. I honestly feel like that is truly an unrepresented part of the Twin Peaks canon. Is like, what was Dale Cooper doing for like all those years?
Yeah, they should do like a like Riverdale,
yeah,
but for Twin Peaks.
Dale Cooper as a high schooler.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really a great idea. Just the opening shot of him in the lunchroom eating like a chocolate bunny or whatever. Yeah. Is that what he says? Diane, I hold in my hand a chocolate bunny. Is that what it is? Is that right?
I can't say.
I think that's right. I do actually.
Is that from the first episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
I think that's Dale Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but really, I mean, how old is he in like Twin Peaks? Like 30s, right?
Probably, yeah.
Has to be around there. Like he's not in his 20s.
30s, yeah.
He's not like like a fresh college grad.
No. He's a guy.
He's just a guy. Yeah.
He's like you or me. He's a guy.
You or I, just guys. We are just like Dale Cooper.
Yeah. And then but like maybe Diane went to the same high school.
Oh. Where's he even from? Where did Dale Cooper grow up?
I don't think that's known.
Wow, it's really... It's weird, I thought that in Twin Peaks, all questions had answers. That's so weird to find something we don't know about the world of Twin Peaks.
Yeah. Yeah. But welcome to our David Lynch podcast.
Welcome to Davidography, where we about Davids and the things that they make.
Honestly, we should just start doing that now.
Next season will be David Cronenberg. Season after that,
David Cross.
Wait, who is that? Is that Tobias Funke?
Yeah.
David Cross?
Yeah.
His first name's David?
Yeah.
Wow, that's so weird.
And then
who'd have thought?
David Letterman.
David
Every episode. We do a review for each episode.
Yeah, it's like a 1,000 episode long season.
Yeah, we would be the run of that season of the show would be longer than the actual time that he was on TV.
There'd be more minutes of our season than of his show.
Well, and because we release the show weekly.
Yeah.
And he released 5 times a week. So
oh my
god.
God.
It would take us over a month to get through 1 week of David Letterman shows.
That's giving me a real panic just thinking about that, even like as a joke.
Yeah.
Like,
and then,
is David Fincher a David?
Yeah. Yeah. So after David Letterman, David Fincher,
Weirdly,
he'll probably have like one more movie by then.
Yeah. That actually would be. I would love to do a David Fincher season of Gameography. This is true. I really do think that we need to start branching out into other things to do Gameography about. Because like I actually have come back to this over and over, time and time again. Mm-hmm. Mountain goatography will happen. I will convince you to do that. That's one of those things I can tell that you have just the slightest glimmer of desire to do it, that I could force you to. I could, if I just badger you enough about it. Mm-hmm. But then I think we need to do
David Darnielle.
David Darnielle. John David Eel. Yeah.
Have any of the Mountain Goats members ever been named, like, has there ever been a David in Mountain Goats? If you don't know this, then we can't do that podcast because you're not an expert.
If neither of us know if there was a David in the Mountain Goats, then we're not qualified.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess we're not, because I don't know. I don't think so.
I bet there was. Just
Rachel David Ware.
I bet there was, but they were in the Mountain Goats for like such a short amount of time that no one even knows. Only John knows.
Yeah. It's not even on the wiki. Like,
yeah, but then if you bring it up, he's like, "Oh yeah, of course, yeah, David."
He has like 30 minutes of anecdotes about David.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, he actually co-wrote like half the songs."
Yeah, actually, David wrote every Mountain Goat song.
Yeah, David is actually just his like.
David's his ghostwriter. No, John Darnielle is a persona.
Exactly. Yeah, he has a split personality.
So, it's like a psychological disorder. It's not a
yeah.
persona. It's like he doesn't even know.
He knows, but like he can't control it. I think, like he's aware that,
and that's his dark secret.
But he references David like it's another person. You know?
Yeah.
Because it's like his personality is split, obviously.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't seem like it's him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's always not breaking form whenever he's doing interviews or on stage.
Yeah, there's actually like compilations you can find where you see him just like.
Yeah, if you look up like,
and then he goes back to like, In League with Dragons was actually about Dungeons and Dragons.
Like they have like very few views, but if you look up like like Absolute Lithops Effects David version, you can actually find those on YouTube.
Yeah, they're way better, those versions.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like classic,
I mean,
it's like classic. Going back to that classic sound.
Classic David Darnielle sound. I mean, honestly, David Darnielle isn't a bad name.
And honestly, it wouldn't be that strange if John Darnielle had like a split person, like if he had another personality.
Yeah, I would absolutely believe that.
Yeah, that like he'd be like, oh yeah, like yeah, it doesn't happen as much. It used to happen a lot more in like the 90s, but
yeah, if you listen to the early tapes, you can really hear it coming out in certain songs. Then he lists like 10 songs that it comes
where in the middle of it he just screams, "I'm David."
I'm David, and then he goes back to Summer Bunnies.
So if you couldn't tell,
so
this is the last episode.
This is
episode going
the last
into
suite
Miyamoto.
Of episodes.
Yeah.
This is probably one of 5 at least.
one of 7 or 8 probably, because every time we have to get longer.
Yeah.
Of Miyamoto, we're coming to the end of Miyamoto's life.
Mia no Moto, no Mordo. Mia Mortal.
Nope.
Yeah, no, we're coming to the end of his life.
Acknowledging this.
I've grown,
but we're
so fond of him that it really breaks my heart to think of moving on. He's become a part of our lives.
Yeah,
I mean, really, it's like we've been. This is the unique thing about like doing something like this with video games is that we have given Miyamoto so many hours of our lives. I mean, in general,
sucked it up like a little vampire.
He just slurped it up, every last dribble.
And he loved it.
He loved every second of it, and we did not.
Loves drinking that blood.
Miyamoto's a vampire.
There is no joke, a quote where he says, like,
I am a vampire. I drink human blood. Miyamoto said that.
where he compared himself to a vampire, like sucking up people's creativity or something like. I don't remember exactly what he said, but that's a real quote.
Devin, I feel like this is the beginning of a game theory. This feels like
and it is definitely a thing with. I feel like Japanese game makers in general.
Okay.
Where like they don't like they appear never to age, like Sakurai.
Yeah, Sakurai and Kojima.
And like I mean Miyamoto. Listen, he looks older, but like
I feel like he turned into a grandpa when he was like 38 or something, and has looked identical.
He's like in his 70s now, and he's still like
that's insane. Yeah, that is really insane.
Yeah, and he still like looks good. Like
Devin.
Anyone would bang him.
I mean, yeah.
That's we haven't divulged this information until now, but that's the real reason we did this podcast.
We're trying to bang him. We're trying to get Miyamoto.
Miyamoto, if you're listening,
we're trying to get his attention. Miyamoto, if you're out there, suck our blood, please. Please. No, honestly, Devin, I think that the Japanese game industry is a boys' club of vampires. Do you think that's real?
Yes.
Y/N?
Why? To continue.
Yeah.
They're vampires. And honestly, the world's better for it.
Honestly, I don't even mind.
Could not deal with them being missing. You know what I mean? Like...
Yeah, I guess really the proof is going to be in the pudding when we do the 100-year anniversary of this podcast, where
because we're vampires too, by the way.
Yes. Well, yeah, because after he bangs us, he's going to sire us, obviously, and we're going to live the Miyamoto life.
Yeah.
Just sucking up the creativity of all of his underlings. Yeah, I would let him vampire me.
Yeah.
Devin, honestly, would you become a vampire if Miyamoto was your sire?
If Miyamoto was like... I'm like, yeah. Because Miyamoto, he like would be like, you don't hurt anybody.
Yeah.
He'd be like, everyone just is having a fun time. Like, I do this to make other people have fun. I suck their blood because they like it.
This is just for fun. Make someone said, how can we make life more fun? And he said, by making it never end. And he bit them.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that does sound fun.
Yeah. Like, if ever there was, like, a fun-loving vampire, it's Miyamoto.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, he's serious about it, but he wants to...
He doesn't take it lightly.
No, but he wants everyone to have a good time.
Yeah.
He's not, like... But he's also not, like, that trope of vampires where it's, like, they're just, like, crazy and, like, partying all the time, and, like, killing people randomly.
Yeah.
No, he's just, like... He's just doing his thing.
He's a hardworking...
Yeah, he's like, I don't have time to do that. I'm making Mario.
Yeah. Ever heard of Mario?
I'm making Mario run with that whip. And he cracks a whip.
That's how I've always envisioned Miyamoto, with a whip.
Yeah. I mean, he's into Westerns. So. So.
Okay, so should we get started?
Yeah. Let's talk about Miyamoto.
Okay.
We've covered he's a vampire, but around I think before, maybe like right around the time maybe the Wii U is coming out, maybe a little before that, he was like going around the office saying like I'm retiring like everyone. Like, but wow. he didn't mean like I'm like actually retiring. He meant like I'm not going to be like doing the same stuff I've always been doing. Like I'm not going to like be like producing all of your games and like fixing them. Like,
okay.
he was like basically going around being like, I'm not going to be here forever. Like, you guys have to figure this out.
And he's taking off the Miyamoto training wheels.
Yeah. And that's basically like the transition from the Wii to the Wii U is like,
wow,
he took off the training wheels.
And things did not go well.
Yeah. He was like involved with like the creation of the Wii U and stuff. But, and the Wii U. What a machine it was. The first Nintendo console Came out in 2012. The first Nintendo console to have HD graphics.
In
Boom.
2012.
That's all you need.
Boom.
It is. I find it is funny, like how they talked about it. They're like, now we have HD graphics, and it's like, I'm sure everyone at the time was like obviously, like,
Yeah.
how insane would you be? Like that's not a selling point, guys. Like,
Yeah, that's like trying to brag about something that should have been done forever ago.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
they were already they should have just quietly done it and
yeah.
not even brought it up.
But obviously, the whole thing is like, you have your like main controller is like a big tablet essentially,
Yeah.
and you can like play your game on that, or like some games use it like a DS kind of, where like the bottom screen is a different screen than the actual television and stuff like that.
Man, which really isn't a horrible idea.
No, it's I mean, like, yeah, it's basically like you can see the direct line of how they got to the Switch from that.
Yeah, but it's because obviously it's like, I think it's for a lot of people, at least for us, it's like we kind of didn't join the Wii U generation. So
Are
it's
you saying Wii or WII or WE?
That's a dealer's choice. Dealer's choice.
Uh-huh.
And so it's like, a lot of this stuff is like, we got the first glimpse of all of the advancements of the Wii U through the Switch.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You're still laughing because I'm saying we.
I'm literally trying to figure out which one you're saying as you're saying it.
You and I, Devin.
Specifically you and I. No one else in the world. Yeah.
Us and many other people.
Yeah.
Skipped it. And so it's like, when the Switch came, I think that all these things seemed so revolutionary and crazy. Like, everything's so nice looking. It's HD, and it's a tablet or whatever. I don't know. And it's like, really half of this came from the Wii U.
Yeah, but it's like they did. So like the problems are, I would say, is that there were legitimate complaints about, like, because unlike the Switch, like, you couldn't just like take the thing anywhere.
Yeah,
it's like you had to be within like 10 feet or something.
That's the thing, is it's like
TV.
It's like they had the idea, but they couldn't figure out how to actually make it work. So they kind of went halfway, and it kind of just sucks.
Yeah, and they were still like thinking about it in terms of like making it like a part of the living room, like in the same way that like they talked about the Wii as being that like a family thing.
Yeah,
but they were like, I feel like a lot of the idea came from them being like. And they show this off in like the trailer or whatever, is like you're part of a family, and like someone else wants to come use the TV to like watch sports or something, but you want to keep playing your game, so you like can just like take the thing out and keep playing that way.
That's so funny, because that is literally what the Switch is for. At least for me, it's like that is one of the truly most useful features of the Switch. But it's like that just doesn't work with the Wii U.
Yeah,
like
I mean, it does.
Are
if
you
you're
gonna
just sit there?
Yeah, are you gonna sit next to the person watching on the TV and play Mario? Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's exactly what they show in that commercial.
But with the Switch, you take it in the other room, and it literally it is. The first time I did that, it was like one of the most revolutionary. Like, it was like, this is the future of gaming.
Honestly, though, like the trailer, that's called like the concept video or something like that on their website
for Wii U.
For Wii U, honestly, does make it look really cool. I have to say, or like it seems like it's because like they show like stuff of like you like could like find a video on the tablet and then like press a button and would like send it to the TV and like everyone watch. It's like the same thing that like I feel like Apple and like Google and stuff all do.
Yeah,
it's just they were probably a little bit too late.
Yeah,
and there was just a huge problem of people not understanding what it was at all.
Yeah,
because the like they don't even in that video really say that there's a new console. Everything just says on the new controller. So people everyone just thought it was a controller for the Wii.
Yeah, that's definitely what I've heard, is that like that's part of why it didn't sell well, is because people literally just thought it was like a continuation of the Wii.
Yeah,
which it's like,
which it kind of was. I mean, because you could still use all your Wii remotes and stuff with it.
Gosh, and that's funny because that seems like that should be such a pro consumer like benefit, where it's like, we're gonna let you save money on controllers, right? But at the same time, it kind of makes it a lot less fun, and and on top of making it a lot less clear what it is,
Yeah, and like obviously this is just how any company would like think about their new product. But there was a quote from like 2013 or something, or 14 maybe, where it was like pretty clear that like it was not a success. And like they had said, like someone high up at Nintendo had said that they expected to sell 100 million of them, just like the original Wii.
Wow. That's okay. That's so bold for any console or any company to think that they're going to sell as well as like that kind of once in a lifetime Wii momentum. That's ridiculous.
I feel like they thought that they were like, we did it again, boys.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, but then, and at that time they were already working on the Switch, so it might have been later. It might have been like 2015 or something. And Miyamoto said that they're like, where it was hinting that they were also working with things with VR and AR, which they do have AR stuff on the Switch, like that, like.
Oh yeah, weird, they totally do. Yeah,
like cardboard thing, and then they have that like Mario Kart thing now, where it's like you like build like a track in your house or whatever.
What would you even call that? Is that like VR?
That's AR, I think, because it's like
you're right. Yeah, 'cause it puts it in the
puts it in the world.
Yeah, brings Goombas into real life. What we all wanted.
Yeah, and Miyamoto did work on a game for the Wii U. He took over as director of Star Fox Zero, and we will not be talking about Star Fox Zero.
What can you tell me about this game? Because I honestly forgot that it was even a thing that he did until you showed up.
It's like universally thought of as bad.
Yeah.
It's like even...
Oh, so it's a Star Fox game?
But it's like even people who like have nostalgia and like that, like the old Star Fox games are like, yeah, it's like, it just doesn't... I think it's a mixture of like people being like, we've moved on. And also like there's like weird, like the whole like thing for that game is like you on the big TV is like the like behind the ship view, the third person view.
Oh, okay.
And then on the screen is like first person view.
Oh my god.
And you're expected to like like look back and forth between them for different things. And it's like
that is insane.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know how they could have thought that was a good idea.
That's a cool idea, but it's like I have to imagine that the second you start doing that, it's just like an instant headache. Like, did they not?
Yeah,
try it or like
I don't know. So, listen, Miyamoto was like, "Okay, guys, I'm done." But
is this when he retired?
But
he tried it with the two perspectives, and then he just kind of got up. He's like, "Well, everybody, I'm retiring."
He's like, "Okay, I've been this game." But because the Wii U was like failing and Nintendo was like losing money, they'd already kind of started, I think, like thinking about this, but the failure of the Wii definitely like spurred it on of them like trying to branch out into other things.
Yeah.
So they started making mobile games.
Yeah.
Or like working on mobile games.
Oh yeah.
And like trying to like use their IPs for other like things. So like that obviously led to them making that the animated Mario movie that they're still making.
That's like that idea started at this point?
I think so. Like they like Miyamoto specifically talked about like we want to like start like licensing or like making movies out of our like all of our like amazing properties and stuff that we have.
And I mean, it kind of makes sense because I feel like I don't know, maybe I don't know when this kind of started, but I feel like we've seen in the last 10 years where like big companies with IPs like this have realized that like that is the way to make money is you just make as much stuff, like as much media with them. I guess kind of the people have been doing that forever, but in particular like...
I feel like it's like the Disney-ification of the world.
Maybe, yeah. But you know, actually, I remember we talked about this in like 10, 15 episodes ago. Wait, there's only been like 15 episodes. Like 5 to 10 episodes ago. Where when we were kids, when I was a kid, I could never find Nintendo toys.
There was a drought.
There was truly a Nintendo toy drought.
Well, and I think it's because like we talked about with like the Super Mario Bros. Movie and stuff, like They did try to do that.
Yeah,
and then
they
it didn't work.
pulled the reins real tight.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah, but now they're like, okay, maybe we can actually, if we maybe pay more attention to that stuff and not just say yes to everything.
Yeah.
That's why it's probably a good idea that or a good thing that Miyamoto is actually involved with the making of that movie.
Yeah.
And it's not just give us some money and you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, because that did not work out before.
But then also, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but this is around this time that they started working on all the mobile games is when they started working on Super Nintendo World with Universal Studios.
Oh,
that's another just example of how they're
I didn't actually realize that was through Universal Studios.
Yeah, it's in Universal Studios Japan, and then it's going to be in Universal Studios Orlando or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
wow. Yeah, I mean, have we talked about in previous episodes how badly we want to go to that? One day.
Yeah.
We'll do a live gamography from a tunnel, a Mario tunnel.
Yeah. But that led to Miyamoto working on his first and only mobile game, Super Mario Run.
Devin, say it.
Super Mario Run!
Wow.
Did you play it, Tim?
I played, as you said, about 5 to 10 minutes of it.
Yeah. You can download it yourself for free and play the first 3 to 4 levels or so, but before you have to buy it. So if you'd like to, you have a phone. I'm sure you're listening to this on a phone.
Yeah. If you're listening to this podcast and you don't have a phone, then you've ascended beyond downloading video games.
Yeah, yeah. If you're streaming this directly into your brain, then we bow down to you.
You are our master.
Super Mario Run is a 2016 video game released first on iOS and then later on Android, and it's the first mobile game, phone game, where using a Nintendo IP.
Is it the only one? Because
there's last year I want to say that a Mario Kart one came out, and then
oh my gosh, yeah, I forgot about that.
There's Fire Emblem Heroes.
Oh, I don't know about that.
And I know there's other ones, and then there's obviously also Pokemon Go and a bunch of other Pokemon ones.
Duh, yeah, I didn't think of that as a Nintendo.
Yeah, I guess those aren't really Nintendo, but they're kind of Nintendo, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, Miyamoto produced it and Takashi Tezuka designed it. So the dream team back together, the original team.
Wow, that's honestly surprising that this game didn't get more press or hype just because of that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was a success. It has 500 million downloads or whatever.
Oh, wow,
but
that's interesting. I distinctly remember. What year did you say that this game came out?
2016.
I distinctly remember hearing about it when it came out, or seeing
I never heard about it. I don't think.
Really, I vaguely knew that it existed, and I never once heard anyone talk about having played it or say that it was good.
Yeah,
and so I kind of was like, oh, this is just some dumb branding thing.
Yeah.
So it's very shocking to hear that the dream team made it.
Yeah, it is crazy, and apparently, so the idea, it's funny because it's as the name implies, it's a runner that that style of game, and it's funny the way that Miyamoto talked about it, because it's it makes it sound like he came up with the idea when it's that genre is at least from 2011 or 10, whenever iPhones games first started coming out, you know.
Temple Run,
exactly, yeah. But he's but he did say they had an idea a similar idea to do on the Wii, actually.
Oh, interesting.
Where it was they were had an idea of just a one button Mario, and you had to time your jumps to the music.
Wow.
But he said
cool.
They decided not to do it. Or they were why are we doing this? Because there's a bunch of other buttons. It doesn't seem necessary.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that is the whole premise of using one button. Is this? It applies to this and Temple Run or any of those other games. Flappy Bird, for example. it's like it's perfect for a phone where it's like so easy and simple that you can do it for a minute, but because it's so simple, it becomes boring almost instantly.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like I don't get why you would put that on a console or anything other than a phone.
Yeah. But he also talked about how part of the idea came from watching speedrunners of Mario because he says like they never stop running when they're like playing, and it's just like getting the timing right on all the jumps exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
And so he said like we could make a game basically that could make people feel like they're like doing that. Like get that like rush of just, and like I thought it was pretty fun. Like and I think like secretly what it's about is like getting like the purple coins.
Yeah.
You know, is it like you can get all the purple coins in a level, and then it like puts like you can play it again and the purple coins are in a different place and you can get more.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. And so like, and they get like progressively harder, and like they're like little like jumping puzzles essentially.
Yeah.
Where it's like you have to like wall jump in like a very specific way to get them, or like jump on top of like a Koopa to reach it or whatever.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, that was fun.
That's a pretty interesting idea.
Yeah. And then the other, like, I guess only new thing that is in it is like, there's like the little arrow blocks. I don't know if you saw those where it's like,
yeah. Where like makes the coins appear in that direction. And so
there's those, but then there's ones where you like step on it, and there's the ones that make you stop, which I'm sure you saw. Yeah. And then there's probably other ones later on, but like the one I saw is like when you're on it and you jump, then you like rocket jump. It's like like you're doing the Mario 64, like wow.
Oh wow.
So he was like, that's the only way we could get like, or that's like the idea they came up with of like, you know, to give you like different abilities essentially, because you literally just tap the screen. That's the whole game. But
and it's funny because it takes away a lot of the control that you have in Mario, but it still somehow feels almost the same as playing Mario.
Yeah, it still feels like identifiably Mario.
But it's like, it's just without, it almost takes away your ability to like be a perfectionist or like, you know, try to be really crafty about stuff. It's like, you just kind of have to improvise your way through it.
Yeah. And like, the other funny thing is like, it just like, it looks and sounds exactly like the Mario games on like Wii U and Switch. I feel
like at the first thought I had was like, oh, this is just like they loaded new Super Mario Bros. Into your phone.
Yeah. It's just like, my phone can like run basically like the same thing as like the Switch.
That's like, really funny.
Like not probably really, but like that's how it appears at least.
Jeez. I mean, they should. I mean, why don't they put like 3DS games on phones?
Just. You have two little screens on your one big screen.
Devin, that's honestly such a good idea.
Yeah, I mean,
explain to me how that's not a perfect idea.
There are a lot of like mobile games that like are also on Switch, so that is like, that's not like 3DS, but like they are. I mean, they're like similar. But yeah, that's. But my only other comment is I was playing it this morning, and then my my wife was like, you have Mario on your phone and on the TV. He's like, why do you love Mario so much? And I was like, it's good. It's on my phone. Like I'm just playing a little bit.
Wow, that's I couldn't have thought of a more Psy thing for Psy to say.
Yeah.
Then why do you love Mario so much? You have your TV, and also I'm picturing you with it running on the TV while you're also doing it on your phone.
I wish I was, yeah.
Like you have one hand on, you have a Joy-Con in one hand playing like Mario.
Yeah, I'm speedrunning both.
That should be a new form of speedrunning.
Yeah.
Speedrun 2 games at a time. Yeah, and I thought I enjoyed it. Yeah. I didn't play much of it, and I guess I didn't have a strong desire to do that. Like if I had all the levels, I don't know that I would play that much, but I also no, but it's nice.
I will say I've not played a lot of those, but it's the best one I've ever played of like a endless runner thing.
Yeah.
It's like usually they're just like, well, like the temple run like style is literally just like it is endless, where it's like it's just until you die, and it's just like not that interesting to me.
That's
where
funny.
it's just like you're getting like
yeah.
going for points
Because
essentially.
that is the difference, is that it's like these are like designed levels that have a start and end point. And I think maybe for like this type of like experience where you're going to be on the toilet probably, or like just like lounging around, where it's like, there's something very invigorating about Temple Run or something like that, where it's like you speed up and it's just endless, and it's like it just gets more.
I mean,
and more
like
hectic.
that kind of thing has its place too, but like I do also like that like the levels are literally like under a minute long.
Yeah.
So it is also like good for that kind of just like I have to sit here for like a minute or two. In a place.
Yeah.
I won't say what place I'm at.
Could be sitting anywhere with my pants down. Also, I just thought of what the actual best game in the genre is, though.
Mm-hmm.
Without a doubt, I would never. I couldn't even entertain the idea that it's a different game. It's the Chrome no internet dinosaur jumping game. Google Chrome, when you don't have internet, you have the dinosaur. You press space, it becomes one of these games.
And it's good.
Wait, you haven't played that?
I probably have like once.
Devin, you're joking me. No, we definitely did that in high school.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying I have.
I still
did not leave an impression on me.
It's so fun. I hate when the internet comes back on. Every single time it makes me mad.
I thought you were gonna say like, isn't there like a Nyan Cat one?
Is there? I never played
that was like on the
Nyan
internet,
Cat.
maybe.
Nyan Cat.
Yeah. Well, listen. You know, he couldn't beat that dinosaur.
No,
that ASCII art dinosaur.
Who
but
could?
he could. Well, that brings us to the Nintendo Switch, which Miyamoto said that he did not have much to do with the creation of, and that he left it to younger designers to make. And I think that also kind of goes to just like the games as well. Like he's since the Wii U, basically he's just been like executive producer / like kind of like supervisor on stuff, but not like actively involved in a lot of stuff. He says, more and more, I'm trying to let the younger generation fully take the reins.
Yeah, I mean, because he is this like 70-year-old man who's still like, it's largely like less and less, but like largely been his creative vision overseeing like this whole like significant sector of the video game industry and the video game creative field, where it's like, that's so weird.
Yeah, and also I think it's probably like a kind of situation where it's like he's like they're ready, you know what I mean? Like I feel like he said that, like he said about like Mario 3D Land and Skyward Sword. He was like those are good games. Like they made those without me, basically.
Yeah,
he's like so like they can do it.
Wow. Yeah, and clearly they've proven themselves with the Switch, where
yeah. And do you have anything like about the Switch in general to
I mean,
pontificate on?
All that I just my general kind of genre of pontification is what I have, where it's like the Switch is incredible. Like I especially I think I have these thoughts from when I first got it, you know, where it was just, and it was also because like, you know, I got it, and me and Annie played it all the time, and then you got one right afterwards. We played it all the time, and then Matt got one, and we all played it, and it's just like, it was very fun, like a very fun energy.
Yeah.
And I think part of that is like intrinsic to the system itself, where it's like the first, to me, Nintendo console that is a truly decent, I almost say good, online experience.
Yeah.
Where it's
true.
like, you can connect to people. You can play Smash with people, and it's not a complicated mess.
Yeah.
It doesn't really work half the time, but like, you know, some games at least.
Yeah.
Smash works surprisingly well. And you know.
Yeah.
But then just, I mean, Nintendo did an incredible thing where they had the home consoles and the handheld consoles, and they somehow they found a way to merge them flawlessly.
Yeah.
Where it's like the technology just caught up to like their ambition, where they could make a console that was still cheap and Nintendo sized, but like can run like some of the best like big like 3D adventures in, you know, like a DS sized console. Yes.
Yeah, I would say, for me, like I think like it's the first like console I bought since the PS2.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
wow.
Like,
Wow.
yeah, like it definitely brought me back into like caring about video
Yeah.
games in a way where like I
Yeah.
just didn't for like a couple of years, I would say,
Yeah.
for a while. But like, so yeah, it's like very significant in that sense. And I feel like a lot of people that happen to.
Yeah, for sure.
Like-
I mean, yeah, I think that it's kind of been like a Wii in a lot of ways where
Mhm.
it's like a system that maybe not, I don't know, as many moms and stuff.
Like a me and you situation.
This is me and you?
But
The me
a
and,
big
the me,
thing.
the me and you. But it's like I don't know any moms that have Switches, but I
Yeah.
feel like it's like it's
But
like
it's like
young people and
exactly.
like people that aren't into video games now all have Switches
Yeah,
and play Animal Crossing.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, Animal Crossing is like in the past year at least been a big think
Yeah.
thing for it.
Animal
also-
Crossing is literally going to be in history books, where it's like we experienced like a pandemic for the first time in 100 years or whatever,
Yeah,
and Animal Crossing came at the exact moment we needed it to
yeah,
as a planet.
yeah.
What were we going to say?
Well, I was gonna say like the Switch, like them, like combining their console with
Mhm.
the handheld, like kind of form like style, kind of like saved them in Japan too, because it's like
Wow.
like the Switch is like the only console that anyone owns in Japan basically, because people like so want that, because like they're like the DS and like all their handheld stuff had always been popular in Japan, but I think it's because like the people are like in their homes so much less probably,
Wow, that
And
makes a lot of
also-
sense. Yeah.
and like actually use public transit as opposed to here, so
Yeah,
they have
yeah.
time to just like
Yeah, because
like,
that's exactly
sit and play a handheld.
yeah, that's the perfect time and place.
Yeah,
And it's like, yeah, definitely large American houses
Yeah.
and like cars all bring this like whole scenario where it makes a lot more sense to play it at home in the
Yeah.
US, whereas like Japan is I think a far more significant population lives in like Tokyo and Kyoto, where I don't know about
Yeah.
Kyoto, but it's like obviously
oh yeah,
just a
definitely.
like full on big city
Every-
life in a way where you just don't have a TV probably,
Well, no, I'm sure they have a TV, but
or
it's
at least
also,
they don't use it in the same way,
Well, I think it's. I was thinking about this. I think it's also probably like a factor of, like multi-generational households are much more of a thing in
Oh,
Japan than
that's true,
here.
yeah.
So it's like you got to share your TV with like the whole family.
Yeah, yeah, it's literally like that's
Yeah,
that's what it's
like-
for. The thing you take it out and you go in the other room.
Yeah. And like I'm just like thinking about this now, but like I was in Japan when the Switch came out.
Oh my god, that happened when you were there?
Yeah, there was like
I cannot
I
believe we never
think,
talked
or
about
it was like right before. I might have left before it came out, but there was like posters for like like
that. Yeah,
like-
yeah,
in the train stations and stuff.
yeah.
It
Wow.
was like specifically of like arms and stuff, which is hilarious now. But
Just people. Yeah, that's like the worst thing to advertise for people on the metro system, where it's like, are you gonna do that in your lap? Like, take the Joy-Cons off?
yeah, I think they were like. I feel like that's the only game where they've tried to chase that like Wii
Yeah,
like
yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah.
I can't think of any other ones where they've like specifically have tried that, but I mean, I guess like
1-2 switch. And,
yeah.
Yeah,
I think
that's what it's
that
called.
stuff probably was more popular in Japan, if I had to guess.
oh,
Like,
really?
And then I mean, there's like we talked about this before, but like how like the Joy-Cons are
They're
like,
literally just
Wii,
yeah.
like Wii remotes,
Yeah.
and like because I was thinking like Mario Kart 8
Oh yeah,
on the
yeah,
Switch,
yeah.
where like you can like do the like
I forgot you could even do that. Yeah.
like tilt to turn
Yeah.
thing. Which listen, I'm not a fan, but there's people who like it, so
Yeah. Did I
I
say
need to knock that.
Did I say I liked that at some point? Because
I don't know.
that feels like something that I would have like come back at you on, like I would have fought you on for no
Do
reason.
you?
Because I don't like it, but I bet
Okay.
I bet I said it just to just to fight you.
That's good to know that you will say things just for that reason. Well,
I think unconsciously.
I mean, like
That's like how my whole personality has been shaped.
yeah. And then another thing that Miyamoto I like helped design or helped like oversaw or something was but I don't know like, when exactly, but like around the Wii time, I would say. In the Wii's lifetime, and maybe like through the Wii U maybe. So he talked about how first it started, I think, with he like started working with this poetry museum in Kyoto.
Whoa, okay.
That was like because Nintendo like got started as like a card company, right?
Yeah.
And so like they have these products still, I think, that are like, like poetry, these like poetry cards where it's like some sort of game where like it has like they have like lines of poetry on them, I think.
Wow. Okay.
And so there was this museum doing like an exhibit on those essentially, like.
Wow, that's
and
cool.
so he went to work on it, and what they did was they put like TV screens in the floor, like a bunch of TV screens on the floor that you could like walk around.
Yeah,
and
you
then
like walk on.
Yeah, you like walk on, and then when you go to the museum, you get a DS, or it might have been a 3DS. I'm not sure. And you could like, it was like basically like your like little like tour guide.
Yeah.
Where like you like, you could like go up to like a screen with like a certain card or like a poem on it or whatever, and then it would like know where you are and be able to like
cool.
tell you about that poem and stuff.
Wow.
And then at some point they like the Louvre in Paris also did this, where they had 3DSs.
Wow.
That they would give to you to like you'd like take up to like paintings and stuff, I assume, and like it would tell you about them or whatever.
That is so cool. I think they have cameras on them too, the 3DS.
Yeah.
So like maybe that's
you could probably like
scan
it or whatever. Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah, just like that's the kind of thing Miyamoto was like, guys, I'm busy.
I'm retiring from the video game industry now. I'm just doing poetry museum tours.
Yeah.
He personally just hands up the DSs. We didn't really communicate very well. I feel like neither of us really knew what the other was doing in terms of what we were going to be talking about. But I assumed we'd be talking about Breath of the Wild and Odyssey. Because I guess I always assumed that Miyamoto had some hand in those. So it is surprising to hear.
I'm sure he did have some hand, but
he must have had some influence. But yeah. Obviously Aonuma, he did Breath of the Wild, right?
He produced it. Yeah, he didn't direct it, but.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was like, it's the new guy.
Yeah. The younger generation. But I feel like, I guess if you had asked me like a year ago what Miyamoto's achievements were, I obviously would have said Mario. And then I think I would have...
Classic response.
Classic, yeah. When everyone knows when someone asks you, what are Miyamoto's greatest achievements, you say, Mario.
You say, it's a me.
You say, it's a me. And he knows what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I would have assumed that like everything Nintendo has done was like his doing to some extent. But what I've really come to see through this podcast is that it's like Mario, Zelda, and Star Fox, weirdly, are like his three babies. Would you agree with that? In terms of like series that he's like continued on, and like
yes, yeah,
the big Nintendo franchises that are still his baby, or babies or whatever.
Yeah,
and so yeah, so it is funny that he did make a Star Fox game for Wii U. And that it's so bad that it's not worth talking about. That is hilarious. Yeah. But then I feel like something...
Well, yeah. Also, it's like we weren't going to buy Wii U's to do that. So.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like, I think you can see almost in the Switches, or in the Switch games in these series, Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey, it feels like it is the start of a new generation of them, or at least the culmination of everything that has come before them. And
I feel like especially with Mario Odyssey, because that's such a like, they specifically even like said, right, that they like went back to Mario 64 as like, I mean, it's in the game. Like, you go to the Mario 64
you literally
castle.
Do,
so
and throughout the whole game, you're going into the 2D mode, like to emulate the first game, which it's like, I mean, and it's like, Breath of the Wild,
Mario Odyssey is the best.
It is so good, yeah. And I was also thinking about, because we talked about Galaxy and how it's less open, and that we were kind of suggesting that's a difference between them, and maybe why I don't like it as much.
Yeah.
And it's like this game, Odyssey, definitely follows the exact same structure as 64, where it's guided with detours.
Well, yeah, it's like you're given the name of a moon or whatever to get, but you could go get a million other moons
Yeah.
before you even go to that place.
And it's like there's always little detours on the way where it's
Uh-huh.
like if you just go down this path instead, it'll kind of like take you on a mini journey and then you get looped back into it.
Yeah. I think we'll maybe get into this a little more next episode when for our true finale of Miyamoto. But I feel like what you were just saying about his legacy almost
Yeah.
of being those three franchises. I think it's
And mostly, let's be real, mostly these two.
Mario and Zelda. Yeah. I think it's that, but it's also like him just being like this like overseeing like super powerful creative force of him just being like, like helping shape all these other projects.
Yeah.
Like we didn't talk about at all like ever, but like that he like basically like mentored like the guy who made Pokemon.
Oh
And,
yeah,
like, helped him like figure out how to make that game.
Yeah.
And then he didn't have anything to do with it really after that. But it's like I feel like he did that so many times. Of just like and all of those games are like there's just so many games like that where it's just like those are also important, you know.
Yeah, he definitely. It's like it's little things that he does that I think puts people on the right track. And you could even say that with Odyssey, where it's like he might have not like really suggested a single idea for the game, but what makes that game so like fantastic, I think, is that it is the like perfect execution of what 3D Mario and what maybe all Mario games are. And it's like that's all coming from his ideas. Like every great idea in that game kind of originates from his like actual work.
Yeah.
On the previous games in the series.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about the chronology of Mario, and it's something interesting is that I feel like we talk about the 3D Mario games as if they're different, but would you agree that they're actually 100% the continuation of the 2D ones?
I mean, in
like, do you feel like
in the
there's
sense
a
that
direct
they're
through
the
line?
continuation of Mario games? Yes, but no, I feel like they are very different styles of games.
Yeah.
Specifically, the Mario 64 style of 3D Mario game is, I think, very different because it is like more based around exploration and like going in these like slightly more open levels and stuff.
Yeah.
As opposed to like running to the end.
Yeah.
Getting to the end. Now they did start introducing like what kind of became more important in later 2D Mario games is like getting like finding the secrets and stuff in those levels. So in that sense, like they kind of brought the exploration aspect into that a little bit.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times it's not like apparent where the like, you know, if you have to like collect like the like 3 like big coins or whatever in a level, it's not always like a lot of times they're hidden. Sometimes they're in plain sight and it's just hard to get them.
Yeah.
In which case you have to like kind of explore as like, how do I like actually get there?
Yeah.
As opposed to like, but then there's other ones where it's like, I just don't know where this is. And you have to like kind of like, you know, like just try hitting things or like, you know, there's usually clues if you're paying attention, but which is like that's kind of the same way as it is in 3D Mario.
Yeah, I feel like all that kind of applies to to these ones where like in Odyssey there's plenty of moons that you just see and you have you're like, I have no idea how to get there. And then
it's like
it'll
up
come
in
back
the sky
later.
somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So in that sense, yes, I do. But like, in what sense do you mean?
I guess just that. I've always seen them as two different series, and it's like something made so much sense to me when I was playing Odyssey the first few times this week, where I was like, this is it's the same idea just in iterations all the way back to the very first Mario.
Yeah. Well, and they have been like converging, I would say, more and more. Whereas like because like now in like the new Super Mario Bros. Series, they added like the butt stomp. Yeah. And like, you know, like other of his like moves that got added in Mario 64 that were never part of the 2D like experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, they will one day be one. In a way, like Mario Odyssey is kind of that because there's like the 2D elements.
Yeah.
But
what a fantastic game.
Yeah.
I think that I've appreciated it way more this time than I did the first time I played it.
Wow.
I obviously like
as a Miyamoto scholar.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it does truly like make me think about certain things more.
Yeah.
And then also I think that I realized something about this game that is the same about 64, which is that you essentially like learn how to just like do Mario parkour, and like it's
Yeah.
like it maybe in a way that I've just never experienced with any other game. It's like it's so simple that you're just moving around, but throughout the course of me playing 64 the first time this year that I did or whatever, like I feel like I became genuinely an expert at some level at like just flying around as Mario.
Yeah.
And in this one, you have so many new ways to do that. And I don't think that happened or that clicked for me the first time I was playing it until like the end. And so this time I've been just like triple bouncing all over the place. And it's like,
they do give you, there is a lot more like advanced moves in Mario Odyssey. I do remember like doing some of those, and then also sometimes being like, I just can't do this. Like, like this is like, these are hard.
I fly off of cliff edges all the time in this game, just trying to do a jump that I could easily like walk to, but I'm like, no, I know I can like fly off this cliff, bounce back onto another cliff, and like jump off the wall to where I need to go. But just a fantastic game.
Agreed. All right, well, this has been the Wii U and Switch.
Yeah.
And next episode we'll be wrapping up Miyamoto and talking about a little more of his thoughts on some certain things that aren't really like related to a specific game, and then I guess just maybe a little more of our thoughts, even though I feel like we did kind of just talk a bit about our thoughts on his legacy. But listen, we might have something else to say.
I'm sure we'll think about it.
We didn't talk about Zelda at all, so
yeah.
All right,
so was Zelda.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.